In this video, we're gonna compare one of the most popular apps on both platforms, YouTube, and we're gonna see which one is missing features and which one has more features than the other. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we head into the main menu, open up the app on both platforms, and you can see that both apps have the music app icon and the originals icon. I'm just scrolling around right now to find any duplicate videos so I can compare them. Both support Google Chromecast, which is not called Google Cast, and you can see my Nvidia Shield show up. Okay, so we're gonna use the search button and look up maybe any video that I looked up earlier. King of Fighters in Real Life, which is pretty cool fan-made video that somebody made. And you can see by the UI, it looks the same, virtually the same. Now we're gonna tap on the search settings and see what option they give me. And you can see by looking at the UI on the iOS one, it's scattered and it's a mess compared to the Android one, which is really nice, like a little box, and you tap on it. And I like the Android one a lot. The iOS one is a mess. Look at the mess on that. It's horrible. They do that a lot to these apps on iOS. They make it into a huge mess compared to Android. Let me see, tap on any duration. Same thing on iOS, but I don't like the way the iOS one looks. I'm sorry. It looks messy as hell. I love the Android one. Everything looks clean, and you don't have to scroll down, forever to find your options. You know what? Let me look for a duplicate video so I can compare the media. When you play the movie. Let's see what movie I should pick on both. Okay, we're gonna pick Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the little clip. And we're gonna go inside the menu to see how well they both look, and so far they look the same. You got the thumbs up. Let me see the description. Everything looks good. Subscribe button, etc. Thumbs up, thumbs down. The share button looks good, although on the iOS one you gotta scroll. And let's see the download quality. It doesn't let me do it here. I gotta go in the options. And let's go to save, see how that looks. And it looks similar. The playlist options look very similar. Okay, like I said earlier, description looks the same. Let's scroll down and the autoplay button looks the same. You can see there the little blue button. And let's scroll down to the comments, see how it looks. And let's tap on the comment settings toggle. See how that looks. Looks the same. Both. Top comments, newest first. Now when you want to swipe down the video and minimize it, see how they both look. And they both look the same. Same animation, etc. And so far so good. Okay, now we're going to take a look at YouTube on landscape mode for both iOS and Android. And the app lets you zoom in and out to fill in the gap or the empty space from the notch or the hole punch or whatever the phone supports. And they both do a good job at zooming in and out. Okay, so if you tap on save, you get these settings. See how they both look. They look the same. So far, I don't see nothing missing from each other. Then if we go to the share feature to share a video, let's see how it both looks. And on the Android one, you got the full real estate of the landscape. On the iOS one, look how little the box is. You got more real estate on the Android one. And when you scroll down to share stuff, look at all the stuff you could do on Android. On iOS, you got like 5 options only. You are stuck. If you hit more, you try to fix it where it says more on the bottom, and that's all you get. On Android, you got unlimited resources of sharing. And that is what you call restriction on iOS. And then you got your Chromecast Support button, which my Nvidia Shield TV shows up on landscape mode. And then you got the cards button, which probably a lot of people don't know what that is. It shows you the playlist or the subscribe button, etc. you could do on your channel. And then the last button, you got the settings button, which lets you report quality, caption, playback speed, etc. And like always, the list on the iOS one is completely different order than the Android one. Okay, now let's take a look at the resolution, see what kind of quality that lets you pick. And right off the bat, I can smell the restrictions on iOS. Look at this. 1080p is the highest that they give you of choice. 1080p. Meanwhile, on my Android version, I can pick 1440p or even higher depending on the quality the video has been uploaded. and you're stuck with 1080p. Restrictions on iOS, guys. This is why I cannot use an iPhone full-time at all. Okay, now let's go to the settings again, the button, and go into captions. See what captions they give me. Same thing, English. Now let's go into playback speed. And so far, so good. And it's backwards. No, actually, this one's in order. Wow. I'm surprised it's in order. You would think it would be backwards. Now let's take a look at the VR experience, see how they both compare. I'm gonna tap on the VR right on the bottom, and let's see how they both look. So far so good. I don't have a VR headset or anything to try it out, but I'm just letting you know how it looks. And you can look at all the color banding on the bottom of the iOS one. Wow, that's weird. Compared to the Android one, it's less color banding, right? That is really weird, but it looks pretty cool. Now I will admit, one cool feature that the iOS one has is you could like swipe left and right to go to the next video, which is cool. On the Android one, you gotta tap forward or next video on the button, and that is a cool feature. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's cool and it's smooth as hell the way it does it. I thought it was multitasking from app to app, but I noticed that it's actually swiping from one video to the other. The Android one doesn't have that, which is really cool. I like that. I'm not gonna lie, it's a cool feature that the iOS one has. Okay, now we're back on track. Let's go to trending to see how they both look in trending. And you can see that they both have the same UI. It looks exactly the same. And tap on music and it looks the same. So far everything looks great. Now let's tap on gaming, see how they both look. And everything looks great. So far, I mean, it's identical to each other. Let's see what I tapped on. Okay, looks the same. So far, the UI looks exactly the same. It's like I'm repeating myself. Now let's tap on subscription, see how they both look. And everything looks the same. Let me see the all button on top where the subscription is. Everything looks exactly the same. Manage. Everything looks the same. Now let's go into inbox, see how they both look, and they both look the same. Let's go into messages, swipe, and they both look the same. Although the iOS one look a little smaller, and due to the fact that I should have used the screen zoom on the Android one a little smaller, but they both look the same. And if you scroll around left and right on the contacts, it looks the same. Now we're going to the last tab, the library. Go in there and it says my downloads, and it has also my videos, purchases, etc. They both look great. I don't see nothing different. We're going to downloads, history. Let's see my history. Okay, let's go back and let's go into my videos, and they both look the same. Nothing different. Let's go back out and go to purchases. They both look the same. And then let's go to watch later playlist, and they both look the same. I don't see nothing different. Now the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go into my settings in the app. Let's see, and you got all my channel, time watched, etc. And if you look at my home screen, videos, they look the same. Playlist looks the same. Channels look the same. About looks slightly different, but it's just the font. So far in the settings, everything looks the same. Time watch, YouTube, partnership, switch accounts, etc. They both look the same. Now we go into the settings on the iOS one. It's a freaking mess. It's all in a list, where on the Android one is all organized, and it's crazy. Look at the mess on iOS compared to Android. It just blows my mind how these iOS developers are so lazy compared to how clean the settings on the Android app is. So I'm gonna just post screenshots because this thing is very confusing. And you can see this picture here, all that the lines going from the left to the right means that iOS has the same thing on Android, but the blue one, which is picture in picture, iOS doesn't have it. So you cannot view YouTube minimized into a little picture on iOS. Restrictions, remember that. And other settings like upload quality, you got to go to another setting on iOS. So the iOS one on the settings is a huge freaking, like, it's gave me a headache just doing this video and comparing the settings on iOS and Android. Okay, this is gonna be the last settings menu. I'm gonna show you the notifications. iOS does have a few more notifications options, like 5 or 6. This video is already going over 11 minutes, so I'm gonna make it quick and let you see it, compare it, just take a look at it side by side. And it's amazing how these developers are so lazy, and I think it's not the developers, although I don't think it's the developers on iOS. I think it's just the OS restrictions, you know what I mean? Because all the app settings are in the settings itself, in the settings menu on iOS, versus Android. Each app has its own settings, and it's, you know, it's not messy like iOS. So I hope you enjoy this video, guys, and leave a like button. And you guys have a nice day and take care. Bye bye.